Storytell Original presents 1986, Book 1, Hunted in Time, by Jesper Ersgård, narrated by me, John Chancer. Part 1, The Old Man in the Snow. Friday, February 28th, 1986, at 7:37 p.m. The man stood completely still in front of the black and white police car. The bright headlights made it look as if the white light radiated from him. He wore a dark pair of pajamas and a light gray dressing gown that flapped in the chilly wind. On his feet were simple morning slippers, covered in snow. Confused, he stared at the two police officers in the car. He opened his mouth to say something but stopped, as if he didn't know how to form words, as if he had forgotten how to speak. "What the hell is the matter with this guy?" Police Officer Gustav Krantz mumbled as he drummed impatiently on the steering wheel. "Is he drunk?" "Just our luck. Ending up with a wino just 20 minutes before our shift is over." Next to him in the passenger seat, his partner, Maya Holst, slowly shook her head. "He doesn't look like an ordinary wino. And the dressing gown is from a fancy department store. I think he's just a confused old man, probably dementia." Gustav sighed. "Damn. Men like him always piss themselves. I don't want him in the car." Maya glanced at her partner. She didn't mind him, but she didn't like him either. He was abrupt and bitter, despite not even having turned 30, and he had only been a police officer for 6 months. Gustav spent all his spare time at the gym, like most people nowadays, and struggled to grow a downy blonde mustache that just made him look even younger. Apart from that, Maya knew almost nothing about him. "Either way, we can't let him walk around like that," she said, nodding at the old man. "He'll freeze to death." "Fine. You go and talk to him," Gustav said. Maya raised her eyebrows. "Why do I have to be the one?" "Because you're a woman, and you're better at those things." "What do you mean by those things?" "You know, the social interaction crap. I'm not getting out in this cold." Maya shook her head and opened the car door. She was 27 and had been a police officer for 4 years. She was used to her male colleagues handing all the softer issues over to her. She always had to be the one who spoke to kids, old people, or worried parents, while Gustav happily took care of the criminals. She should have stood her ground and demanded that Gustav be the one to get out and speak to the man. But today, of all days, she couldn't face any arguments or conflicts. That morning, in the shower, she had felt a lump in her breast. It might be nothing, but then again it could be something which would turn her life upside down. She pushed her thoughts aside. Maya stepped out of the car and shuddered in the cold. It was below freezing, but the harsh wind made it feel even colder. She automatically put her hand on the baton in her belt, although the man in front of her hardly seemed dangerous. "Close the door," Gustav hissed from the warmth of the car. She gave him a long look, left the door wide open, and walked towards the old man in the dressing gown. She heard Gustav mutter something and smiled to herself before she turned her attention to the man. He looked to be in his 70s, tall and slim, with blue, watery eyes. Standing completely still in front of the famous variety theater on one of the city's upmarket squares, Östermalmstorg, he did not seem to notice the freezing wind that pulled at his thick white hair. The odd passerby gave him a curious look before rushing off. It was too cold for anyone to want to linger, no matter how nosy. Slowly, the man turned to her. "What happened?" he exclaimed. Maya gave him a warm smile.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?